Verbal Tap fans, I have a question for Raph. There's been a lot of people trying to save UFC 222. Who's going to come save UFC 221, which is this Saturday, February 10th, in Perth, Australia? Kit Dale not on the card, which means it's time for Verbal Tap, the show that proves fighting way easier from outside the cage. More people should try it. I'm your host, Kevin. With me, of course, from sunny Los Angeles, Raph Esparza. Raph, what's this pay-per-view bite do?
I don't know. And, you know, it's really sad because the reason you guys are getting another podcast this week is because we might have forgot.
Like don't say you're going to just tell them? You're unleashing it?
Listen, I was in Arizona. I was traveling. So when that happens, the podcast producing responsibilities fall to the second in line.
Okay, I had friends in town and was kind of doing some drugs.
Bullshit.
Like some B-level drugs.
First of all, you're doing drugs all the time on this show.
No. Not weed doesn't count. Weed is barely.
Oh, you were doing heavier drugs.
Yes.
Okay.
So, completely forgot there was a UFC coming up.
So anyway, cut to me maybe about an hour, 2 hours after I see our podcast posted, and I'm all happy. And I think to myself, oh, shit. That's right. This year's UFC pay-per-view isn't the day before the Super Bowl. It's the week after, because the cue ball, a.k.a. Dana White, wanted to go celebrate with his Patriots so he could see them lose. So here we are, everybody. We have a very special edition of Over Under Kevin. And Kev, I know you're talking about the next pay-per-view one, but we can't overlook the one that's happening this upcoming weekend.
We tried.
So as a result of that,
we did our damnedest, but somehow you remembered.
We have searched high and low for a person who would bring a certain kind of respectability to the show, who could really, really bring up the level of, you know, Kevin, when it gets really gritty, what's another word for gritty?
Tough.
Okay. But when somebody's like so good it's disgusting, you might call them
a savant?
No. Like so gross that they're amazing. So like, this person's a real blank woman.
Wonder.
Oh, motherfucker. Just listen. Listen, guys, I was trying to do a nice way of introducing Nasty Nate Harris to our show, but Kevin can't play that game, so I'm just going to say, hello, Nate Harris. How are you doing, sir?
I'm fantastic. How are you, sir? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to have you on. We've been looking to bring you on. You are coming to us from the beautiful New Mex, correct?
That is correct. Albuquerque, New Mexico.
So you have a 10th planet out there. I was recently out in Arizona, and I did look up how far it would take me to drive out to you, and then I said no. Tell people why they should go see you, though, in the ABQ.
Oh, well, number one, because it's me, and I think I'm a pretty fun guy. So there's that in and of itself. Also, New Mexico has some of the most amazing food you'll eat. Green chili, you know. There's that. And Albuquerque is the 5th most violent city in the U.S., so why wouldn't you want to visit that town?
Does that change any of the clientele that you get?
Actually, when Carlos Condit leaves, they're the 8th most violent. So it's all about who your company is.
That is true. No, I don't think so, actually. I mean, we get most of my clientele, my members are not violent people.
That's good to know.
Until they come to me.
I was just going to say, turn them into violent people. I'm seeing some pictures.
And of course, you get to be a dangerous minds instructor to them. You get the backwards chair. You go, why don't you reach out to me? And they tell their sob story, and then you, instead of setting them straight, make them worse.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, listen, man, like, I'm in deep. I'm like, cool, get deeper. What are you, a fucking pussy or something? Come on. Fucking do more of that.
I was gonna call you a real Michelle Pfeiffer, but then I was like, you know, I'm gonna let him spread his wings and fly for himself, and you did very well there. Now you mentioned something here that I think is important. That is your baby. That is your 10th planet. You're a brown belt within the system. You're very, very funny. But there's some things that Kevin doesn't know about you. Because much in the way you don't know much about Kevin, he doesn't know a lot about you. Kev, one thing you should know before we get to the shit-talking portion while we're all still friends is the fact that at his opening, he did have your favorite fighter in Carlos Condit.
We have a real problem, Ref, because I found the photo. Quick Facebook search, which you said, yeah. So I don't know how we're going to proceed. You know what? Fuck this card anyway. It's going to be very difficult to be mean to Nate Harris. He is standing next to Carlos Condit, and unlike the time I did, Carlos Condit does not look like he wants to leave the situation and is borderline creeped out.
Oh, yeah, no, Carlos and I are friends.
I don't know. Okay.
Well,
now I'm back into mean mode. Okay, we'll be fine.
I had to give him a little bit of shit, though, because, there's a Perfect Circle concert here in October, and him and Master Ken, who is my friend Matt, posted a picture where the three of them were doing jujitsu. Carlos, Matt, and Maynard from A Perfect Circle. And the next time I saw Carlos, I'm like, yo, thanks for that. It's not like both of you guys don't have my fucking phone number and know that I have the Perfect Circle tattoo. Why would I want to be invited to that?
Why the chance to roll with an idol?
Right. My favorite musician ever in the history of music who also does jujitsu, which is kind of my thing. Like, yeah, why would I want to be invited to that, Carlos? No, it's cool. It's fine. But also just kidding, because I'm like, why would Carlos ever think of me?
No, I already enjoy the way your brain works. I would be immediately like, what the fuck is going on here? I feel that way frequently when I see Raph train with people. It's like training. All of a sudden, he's at 10th Planet headquarters. It's like Eddie Braj walks by. I'm like, where the fuck is... God damn it.
Yeah, thanks for the invite.
Okay, first of all, I invite you everywhere, Kevin.
That's true. I just got to get out to L.A. I'm in Denver.
I want to reveal something here, though. When you're that close to Carlos Condit, and they do show up at a cool place without you, doesn't your brain also think, like, did I fuck up?
No.
No, maybe it should, because maybe you should be asking yourself what you didn't do. Or maybe what you did that upset Carlos, that he was like, hey, do we have an extra ticket? No, we don't.
No.
Well, I mean, now we understand why you weren't called. I mean, if we're being honest, I think we've mystery solved. Nate, you also do some phenomenal stuff. You do some stunt work. Tell us
what,
in case our listeners, Kev, you gotta let him breathe.
Do I need to check his IMDb page too? God damn it, Raph. Raph doesn't tell me who's coming on.
Nate, tell us, in case somebody doesn't know who you are, and I would feel bad for those individuals because you're a very funny and affable sort of individual, but you do some acting work on the side as well.
I do, yes. I've been doing stunts for a while. I'm not like, I don't know, I would say I'm not a very big time stunt guy. I do a little bit here and there. Nothing. I haven't gotten to do like any giant stunts.
You're usually in Sicario. What I was in Sicario, we have so much to talk about. What were you? This is one of my favorite rewatchable movies.
Yeah, I get killed by Benicio in that one.
Shut up. What scene?
Okay, where he's hiding in the back of the Mercedes?
Yes,
and he's got a gun to the guy, and he drives up to the cartel dude's house, and there's that security guard who walks up, says something in Spanish, then gets popped in the head.
Yes.
That was me.
Holy shit. This is amazing. I'm having a real moment over here,
now,
Raph.
I know that from everything I hear on set, Benicio is a very method actor. Did he actually kill you?
Yes, he did, actually. And then there's a team of voodoo doctors on set who just bring people back to life after Benicio.
Those motherfuckers are high insurance, by the way.
Because that's how you're in Sicario too. Soldado. And I have to tell you, I don't think you're going to reprise your character as the security guard from the first one.
Yeah, I actually get killed by Brolin in the sequel. Spoilers, sorry.
No, hey, well, I think we all know some people are going to get murdered. I mean, if you've seen the trailer, it looks like war.
Yeah. Is the sequel named even Sicario? Because I feel that's an opportunity if it's not.
No, the sequel is titled Soldado. I have a pretty funny story about that, actually. So I get bored super easily just in life, and I like to troll people. I think it's pretty funny. And I was on set the first night, and it was the middle of the night. We're out in the middle of the desert. It's freezing. It's me, two other stunt people, and then just like a herd of extras. And one of the extras who's standing like right next to me is like, so what does Soldado mean? And I look over and I go, oh, it's Spanish for passion fruit. And she's like, it is? I'm like, yeah. And so passion fruit is the national fruit of Mexico. And in Spanish, it's soldado. So that's why they named the movie Soldado. And she's like, oh, okay.
Was this a white person you trolled? Just checking.
100%.
No, I think she was Asian.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
Because I was hoping that she went to her local wine group the next day and was just like, interesting fact, ladies. Let's swirl our wine. Who here knows a little bit about Espanol things?
Takes a little step. This really has a nice flavor of, is that soldado? I can taste it. A little hint of soldado.
A little
hint
of it.
What?
That poor woman sounded
soldado.
really stupid on a date. In the very near
Soldado
future.
is Spanish for passion fruit. It's delicious. Get cultured, honey.
And then there's the one girl who just kind of goes, actually it's not. And it's like, I always hate that bitch. She tries to ruin my life, and I hate her for that. Nate, the other funny thing about you that I think Kevin is about to get a little bit madder about, and I need to take a pause here. So, hyphen, Kev.
Yeah.
Do you already dislike Nate because he's besties with Carlos Condit? He's a brown belt, which is more advanced than you in jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
He has his own school.
Yeah, I heard that part. Which is why I was like, I didn't check his IMDb when I was like, oh, runs a 10th Planet Academy. Cool. Yeah, that makes sense.
He's on IMDb. I mean, it's impossible to be on that. We know that.
I do.
Do you dislike him just based off of these facts so far?
Normally 100% would. Right?
Okay.
Rolling with Condit, texting him and being pissed about musician stuff. All those small name drops aside, I would be normally in this situation because I'm jealous, right? I'm angry, especially when people are more talented at most of the things I love. Though he was in a little-known film starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and star of Jackass. This movie is perfect in every possible way, from the amount of people that die to the plot to the comedy. The Last Stand. So I'm unable to be physically upset with him because he was in that.
Yeah. That was my second job ever.
What was the scene of The Last Stand like? Johnny Knoxville, I assume, just doing stupid shit and pretty drunk most of the time.
I was actually only on second unit. I didn't even get to work with any of the stars.
You could have really had a chance to step up and be like, hey, have you ever thought about taking that Jackass stuff to a jiu-jitsu gym? And it's like, you heel hooking him in a quick
Time out, Kev. You didn't rephrase your question the way you should have there, Kev. What's the dirt on Johnny Knoxville's stunt double? Is he a giant boozer? Because, I think we know that.
I actually didn't meet him. I don't know who doubled Knoxville.
Oh my God, Nate! This is the worst story ever.
I know. You picked the worst movie.
I didn't. I picked an amazing movie that you were a part of, and it's a team effort when you make a masterpiece. Fuck the Oscars and fuck the Golden Globes for not giving it at least. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't mean the quality of the movie. I mean as far as stories go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, coming from one professional
boring.
to another, not really. You're a professional. I'm almost. Just make one up.
Let's do this. No, we're going to time out here, Kev. We're going to ask Nate, is there a superior movie that has a superior story? Because I think he's giving us that fork in the road that says, you can continue down this boring avenue lane.
Yeah, or you could move to one of my many other projects that are exciting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a good message and message received. So, Nate, the burden is on you now. What is a more superior movie with a better story?
Of any movies in the history of movies?
That you worked on,
one that you worked on,
that I worked on.
Yes.
Yeah, could you tell me about what it's like to be an Atos brown belt? Let's stick with what we know here.
Let's see. God, probably my favorite thing I've worked on was A Million Ways to Die in the West.
That's genuinely what I've got it, my cursor over it. I was going to let it go if that wasn't the one, but go
on. No, that was awesome. I had a ton of fun working on that one. As far as movies, let's see.
What did you do on A Million Ways to Die in the West?
I was in the saloon fight.
Hell yeah. A great scene.
Was a little disappointed you were in the saloon dance, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Charlize Theron, nice lady, though. Super sweet.
She is kind of perfection.
Yeah.
Like, she is the person who, whenever you see the Dior commercials and they're super cheesy, but because she's in it, you're like, that's classy as fuck.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah. No, that was a blast. I had a ton of fun with that because, like, every friend that I have in the stunt world was also in that same scene.
That's awesome.
So it was one of those things where I was just looking around and I'm like, I'm fucking playing dress up with my closest friends and just having a blast and getting paid a retarded amount of money to do it. Like, is this my life? The fuck?
Yeah, essentially it is. I mean, you could say the same about jiu-jitsu, to be quite honest. But,
oh, yeah.
Especially when they see what kind of rash guards y'all are wearing there. But I want to put a pause here because the original question I had for Kevin was, you didn't think that you could get madder at Nate Harris, though, right? Like, you're on the brink of saying, nope, friendship over, right?
I got madder.
Okay,
for sure.
You got madder.
Yeah.
Well, what if I were to tell you there's a step further? Because not only in addition to all the things that we've already mentioned, but what if I were to tell you that Nate also is starting to do improv as well?
That kind of feels right. It's like next you're going to tell me my girlfriend and he are seeing each other and we're going to just chat it out, find out what's going on.
You know, that's for end of the podcast talk, Kev.
He's going to be better than me at stand-up in like 27 seconds, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
I don't
will
enjoy
not
this.
confirm nor deny the girlfriend thing.
Yeah,
excellent. I want to point out this is why there's been so many yes ands from Nate. No matter what you throw at him, it's just been like, Nate, you were a radioactive scientist at one point. Why, yes, Raph. Interesting story.
I got my radioactive science degree from
that.
Eddie Bravo. It was a closed ceremony, but it was fun.
But yeah, Nate, how are you enjoying the improv classes? Because I see you do that, and there's only a handful of people who really know that form of comedy who do jiu-jitsu as well, and you join that club. So how do you like doing that?
Oh, I love it. My team and I are actually the newest house team at our local theater where we're doing it. So
fuck yeah, dude, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, starting our first show is March 2nd. We've got like a 12-week run. So yeah, gonna be doing some long form improv.
What do you tell your students? Do you make them come buy a ticket and come out to support you?
I invite them, but none of them have come.
Oh, you should 100% like ask them if they want to come see an improv show as you're putting the heaviest amount of side control pressure on them.
Just like driving the fuck out of my shoulder into their jaw. Like, yeah, so 7:30 lights up. It's going to be a fun time.
Anybody who's ever had to sell a ticket for comedy knows it's a hustle in like any other business where you literally have to remind people, hey, I'm performing at this thing. It's going to be so much fun. What's in it for you? I mean, my delightful face and the fact that I'm going to do 5 new minutes on you, but you're going to love hearing about yourself because you're a giant egotist. So come on.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly that.
Well, Kev, we have to get to important issues in a second, but I think it's important that we know something more, and we've talked, and it's based in fact here, but this is the real fact we need to get with Nate. Nate is also a venturist as a t-shirt designer, but he seems to support a movement that we talk about on the podcast on occasion here and here and there. But what is the name of your t-shirt brand, Nate?
Shirts are a jail cell.
Okay. Do you mind explaining where that came from and why you decided to make that? And follow-up question, how are you protesting wearing shirts with shirts? Go on.
Well, so it started because basically I don't like to wear shirts.
Are you wearing one now?
I am not, actually. No. Yeah. If I'm going to do a phone-in podcast, I'm not wearing a goddamn shirt, Raph. Come on.
I mean, I just wanted to make sure that my form of investigation was all the way thorough, even though you could 100% lie to me, and I go, that checks out.
I feel the same way about pants.
The truth is, I'm sitting in my house. So, in the words of my father, and this is the only thing I will ever agree with that man on, is I don't have to wear a goddamn shirt in my own goddamn house. Was something he liked to yell at us a lot when we would be like, Dad, can you please put on a shirt? We have friends coming over. And then that would be his response. And so, that's the one thing I inherited from that man, is a distaste for shirts and a refusal to wear one in my own home. So I just started hashtagging shirts are a jail cell on pictures of me not wearing a shirt. And then I was like, it'd be funny. Let's put it on a shirt. And so I went to customink.com and printed I think the minimum order was 7 shirts. So I got 6 of my friends to buy one too. And then a bunch of people were like, oh my God, I want one. And so I did a big order. I just took pre-orders and printed off 50 and sold to people. And then that was 4 years ago. And then this year, or I guess last year, 2017, I was like, you know what? Let's revisit that. Let's do that again. And, what if we start fucking with different designs, different ideas.
Yeah, I still, it's hard to get around trying to say I'm gonna really show these guys with the best shirts possible. Somebody really wants to support your movement, and they're gonna be like, no, don't take your shirt off now. Keep your shirt on for the photo shoot, and that'll show them. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
Well, my whole thing is with the I lost my words. I'm if we're gonna have, because there are times in life that you have to wear a shirt. People are frowned upon you going into Whole Foods shirtless and whatnot. So if you're gonna wear a shirt, you might as well wear the softest fucking shirt ever. So all the shirts I print on are Bella Canvas Tri-Blend, which are fucking butter.
Oh, okay. Excellent. I didn't know we had Linda Richmond on the show, everybody. But I want to make sure that when we discuss the finer points of that, one of the reasons why it's always so hilarious to us is there is what we call ADCC style, which is the people who roll
shirtless.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, I'm down for it. I'll do it occasionally.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see it. Do you use it as a strategical advantage to get out of things more? Because when the wick happens, sometimes, you'll slip off of stuff and you'll get out of things. Is that something that you are doing and devising?
No, not on purpose. It happens. It's more annoying than anything because the other guy tends to get out. I'm pretty solid in my defense. I don't need to be shirtless and slippery to defend. So more so, I end up getting annoyed that I don't have a rash guard on or they don't have a rash guard on because then they slip out of shit.
You are a complex diagram of idiosyncrasies, my friend.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, I'm sure you have. Well, you know what? I think there's no better time than this to transition. But before we do, if people are so interested in shirts, where can they go get them, sir?
Shirtsarejailcell.com.
Excellent. Hey, you got the website? I'm surprised someone didn't steal that from you.
Oh yeah, no, I buy up all kinds of websites whenever I think of something funny. Right now, they're all directed to that site.
I have a question. What are the other things you've bought then?
Let's see, fatabs.com. I own that one. NastyNateHarris.com. Obs.
Fair.
Fuck, I forgot other things.
When do you do this? Or when is primary? An idea's come to me. I need to get to GoDaddy.com or wherever you buy your domains.
Randomly, it'll just happen whenever. I bought abqimprov.com just in case.
That was
I was like,
very unsatisfying answer.
What are all the various improv Albuquerque related domains? And that was the only one available, so I bought it.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you guys go to shirtsarejailcell.com, buy some t-shirts there. But plugs over now. Let's transition straight to the game of Over Under Kevin.
And now it's time for the thrilling installment of Over Under Kevin.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another installment of Over Under Kevin. My name is Rafa Esparza. I am the host of this segment. I am very excited about this one because Kevin seems to have found somebody that he ideally loves in Nate Harris.
Deep.
But now you have to be against him. You have to talk shit to Nate, a person who is yes-anding everything you've thrown at him.
And you fought MMA as well, right?
I had a couple amateur fights, yeah.
Okay. Just
and he
curious.
also, were you one of the first people to do a combat jiu-jitsu as well?
Yeah, that was the second ever combat jiu-jitsu match.
Guys, I want to make sure that everybody listening to the show knows we spare no expense to get the second person to ever have a combat jiu-jitsu match on this fucking podcast because we are committed to that sort of thing, whatever that is.
You're goddamn right. I'm one of only 2 people in the world that have a gold belt. All right?
God. You know what? I'm going to call Campello a little bit later and ask him to comment on the second person to have a combat jiu-jitsu match.
Yeah. I don't want to brag or anything, but that happened. You know, that's in my history.
Fair enough. All right. So, ladies and gents, the way this game works, it's very simple. We go throughout the entire UFC 221 pay-per-view card at random order. And honestly, and I was telling Kevin this off air, it really doesn't matter what order I put this one in because nobody knows who these fighters are. So what's going to happen is each person on this podcast will get 15 seconds to say who they think is going to win. So Kevin is going to have 15 seconds. If I so feel that Nate deserves 15 seconds of rebuttal time, I will do that. The best person is the person who gets the most ones correct. Do you both understand the rules, gentlemen?
Yes, sir.
Well, I do, but I'm not a stuntman. I mean, some of us actually exercise all forms of their amenities during work. But yes, I get them. Did we check again? Did you want to check with Nasty Nate one more time?
I wanted to make sure that Nate knew that was trash talking. Nate, how did you feel about Kevin's opening line for trash talk to you?
I did not realize it was trash talk.
I just wanted to make sure.
Just proving my point.
I'm not sure that that's either proving Kevin's point or Nate's point. But we're going to start off, and I'm going to put 15 seconds on the clock for a fight between, let's see here. It's a heavyweight fight, Kev, and you're leading us off. It's between Tai Tuivasa versus Silver Asker. I hardly know her.
The old Australia versus France rivalry of fat people. I'm going with Ty because he's got his love handles tatted up, which is Australian for I play for both teams. So I'm gonna sponsor him. I'm gonna go on the progressive, and I'm going with Tai Tuivasa or Bam Bam.
Okay, Nate, I've got 15 for you. Who's taking this one?
Well, I don't know either of those guys, but Tuivasa kind of sounds like I took a Bill in Ibiza, so I'm going to go with him as well.
Okay.
If we're going to use pop songs to do this, by the way, you're going to fit in just marvelously.
Okay, fantastic.
Now, Kev, here's the thing. He's already following in your lead. Is that a good stuntman kind of trick that he doesn't know how to lead himself and be a leading man?
What we're seeing here is what leads to a life in the shadows, right? I'm a front man. I'm the guy out in front. Yeah. And I'm not in front of many people, sure, or on the big screen. But it's about being in front, the line at the grocery store. And I think it's going to be good for Nate to get that. It's going to rub off on him on the podcast.
Okay, now, it's important to note, Kevin is never above being fourth billed on any form of movie. But Nate, that's neither here nor there. What do you feel about Kevin's remarks there?
I feel like Kevin's maybe a little overcompensating a little bit. You know, a little bit insecurities coming out, saying like, well, you know.
I have a perfectly fine-sized penis, if that's what you're suggesting early in the podcast. Raph,
all right. I think it's time to move on to the next one. Once we mention penis, I have a rule in the book that says move on. Our next bout, I believe you will be leading us off on this one, Senor Harris, and it is a bout between Tiroto Ishihara versus Jose Alberto. And I know this last name because it's Selena's last name. Quinones. Who do you got?
You know, I am going to go with Teruto Ishihara because for no reason whatsoever other than you mispronounced his name Jose.
Did I mispronounce it or did you mishear it?
You said Joe's.
Did I mispronounce it or did you mishear it?
Well, I live in New Mexico. I'm pretty sure I know how to pronounce the name.
Mexican.
Jose.
You can't out Mexico me.
This is a fun part of the podcast.
Don't ever hold on. Time out for everybody listening
Mexico.
To this show.
Go on, Ralph.
I want to bring this up. No guest on this show will ever out Mexico me. Okay? I don't care how deep from the real Mexico you were. You were in the movie Sakara. But you are not living Sakara life. Kev, what do you got for us?
You don't know that. I might drive across the border every day.
First of all, you don't know my life, okay? Don't assume that you know what I'm living through right this second. I might be calling in from a hut.
Touche.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
I'm going to start a T-shirt company called "Smuggling Drugs in My Ass as a Jail Cell." I'll work on the website. Don't steal that while we're podcasting, Nate.
Kev, he's gonna buy it real quick. Don't tell him that. No.
Just bought it.
Could you say it one more time? Because it's pretty long and hard to follow. I'm gonna.
I've got GoDaddy up at all times.
I'm going a bitty bitty bum bum here, Raph.
Okay.
Quinones.
Just bought that one too.
Sold.
Excellent. Thank you.
You can't own Selena's lyrics. Nobody can.
Just did.
Wow. I just want to make sure that people know this, that my love of Selena is so strong because I'm Mexican. And second of all, because I never forgave the actress who played her killer. I hold grudges.
Yeah. Yvonne.
Yeah. And you know what's sad? She was a perfectly nice lady, but I never forgave her for fake killing Selena off screen.
And I love her because I had HBO as a child, and that movie rocked, and her music rocks. I'm just saying that's how I got access
I think
to
you
it.
misread all of that, Kevin. But let's move on to our next bout. You're going to lead us off on this one, and it is a bout between Luke Jamo and Dachi Abe. Go.
This, by the way, is a fight I've been waiting years to see. This one I can't overstate. I can't see what Dachi Abe looks like from Japan, and I can see what Luke, the Jedi, I have some abs, from New Zealand. He's going to be pissed off he's in Australia. I'm going with Luke.
Okay, Luke it is. What do you got for us there, Nate?
I'm going to go for the other guy simply because Luke's Wikipedia page has two different nicknames listed. And come on, dude, pick one.
I agree, by the way, on that part.
Okay.
Come on.
What are we doing
Is it
here?
the Jedi or the
in
Juggernaut?
Yeah. What an asshole. I still pick
Yeah. So I'm going
with
Daichi Abe.
Daichi Abe. Okay. Let's go to our next bout. Let's keep this momentum going because these are fighters nobody knows.
And in an Australian accent, Daichi Abe is going to sound like Douchey Abe.
Fair enough.
Oh, hey, douchey Abe.
See?
God, I have a horrible accent work.
I want to point something out. That was bad. I really I can't stress how bad that was enough.
It was short. It was short.
It was the best Australian accent that can be produced currently on this podcast at this moment. So be grateful for the guests that we get, kids.
Yeah. You're welcome.
You're welcome indeed. My next one is a match between Rob Wilkinson versus Israel Adesanya, and I believe that one starts with
Pretty boy.
Say Nate.
Okay, well, Rob's nickname is Razor. He was born in 92. He's also Australian. And Israel.
No research.
Nigerian,
No. Keep reading his Wikipedia page, please.
Israel is Nigerian, which means he's probably a scammer on the internet. So I'm going with Rob Wilkinson.
Sound logic. Kevin, what do you have for us?
First of all, how dare he? I am going with the last style bender from Nigeria because it's not easy being a fighter from Nigeria. Hard to get amateur training time in. I'm taking Israel Adesanya.
Kev, I have a question for you. Did it sound a lot like Nate was doing a book report in the 4th grade as he was reading that Wikipedia entry?
It sounded like Nate was giving it 140% in the research category, which alludes to my precursor. That sounded like a book report he would do now.
I'm really sorry. That falls on me. I should have prepared him in saying we don't allow any research on the show.
I thought you noticeably left it out of the rules this time, but whatever.
I do my best to keep the people as least informed as possible.
Crushed it.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I literally only read the half the first sentence on each page.
It doesn't. If I'm being honest,
it does make. Well, I'm good. But I'm just thinking about the fantastic choreography of The Last Stand and that moment where they blockaded.
God, it was good.
It's just art. Art touches people in fun ways.
How'd you know that was the scene I was in?
I guessed because it's. I can tell you that movie scene by scene. I was like, "What has the most people?" Got it.
That's fucking good. I'm actually really fucking impressed right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I want to say right now, I think that you are some sort of muse for Kevin, Nate, because he's never been as sharp as he is right now.
It's all those drugs
Has
I
that
did.
effect on people?
I did an
What drugs
upper
did you
followed
do?
by an experimenter, and everybody, just freeze you up.
Once we get past the contest portion, can we get into what kind of drugs Kevin did? Because I'd like to hear more about that.
Potentially, that'll be on our after show that we do. You know how like The Walking Dead has an after show and
After the verbal
Breaking
tap.
Bad. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
going to be
Yeah.
after the tap.
Okay.
Oh, that's
and
better.
We're still the host of it.
That's better.
That's the sad part is like we couldn't get anybody else to host for us, so it's us.
Fair enough.
All right, let's go to our next bout.
That
Kev, I
was
think
sad. Sorry,
leave this
I
one
was
off
just thinking
for
about the Game
this
of
heat.
Thrones cast having to host their own after show. It's like, boo. God.
Kev, did you do that last one, or is this was that him?
He
That was him.
started on the last one
this is-
with some questionably racial humor.
Fair enough. Let's go to our next bout. It is a flyweight bout between Juicier
No
Formiga
Okay.
versus Ben Nguyen. What do you got for us, Kev?
I fucking love the way you do names. And if you know anything about Formiga, sounds like formaggio, cheese, which is my favorite food group. I am choosing the Brazilian Hussier Formaggio. Sounds like it.
All right, what do you got for us there, Nate?
All right. Well, it's hard to argue with that logic because cheese is awesome and everybody knows that. However, Ben's last name is Win, so he's probably going to win.
Okay, again, not trying to go racist on it, but is that supposed to be like Win, like Nguyen?
We'll give it a
That's
double
not how-
entendre pass because it was
No,
positive.
that's how you.
Is that-
That's how you pronounce the name is Win.
No, but I mean, like, it's kind of like not really a
You're-
nickname.
You're pronouncing it wrong. That's how you pronounce that last name.
Prove it.
NGU. Okay.
What if he crushed it, by the way, and just went Ben with his middle name, his nickname being Win, W-I-N, and just really confused the shit out of people? Because right now he's Ben 10, so he's open to it. He's open to rhymings.
Do you think that when he walks into a room, he plays "All I Do Is Win"?
I would have gone
Probably.
with Sin as my
All I Do Is Sin.
Ben Sin.
Didn't hit the Billboard charts, that remix, everybody. Let's go to our next fight. We're going to have Nate start this one off. And I'm actually going to put 23 seconds on the clock because it is a co-main event between Mark Hunt, be very careful how you say that name, and Curtis Blades. What do you got for us?
Well, I think that one's pretty obvious. That one's going to go to Mark Hunt. Mark Hunt. Because he's the hometown hero and he's Mark Hunt, and I don't know who this other guy is. So probably Mark's going to knock him out and do his very, infamous knockout walk-off. Mark Hunt.
Kev, what do you got for us?
What makes me extremely nervous is that Mark Hunt is 43 years old and easily the most exciting fighter on this card. I also have to go, out of respect, we have to go Team Hunt. I'm going to need to see Blades do a little bit on the road before I'm ready to get out of the Super Samoan business. Plus, God, it just gives me hope. Every time I see him get in the cage, it's like, I could just let it go. I'd be fine.
I also want to give... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No. I hope that Curtis's nickname is like Sharp or something.
Razor.
Spin.
It's
Is it?
Razor. Yeah.
No, it's not. Not according to his Wikipedia page. But who's the last guy I clicked on? Oh, fuck. What was his name?
Are you talking about Rob?
Yeah,
Win?
Rob's nickname is Razor, according to Wikipedia.
Curtis Razor Blades is what the UFC has.
Okay, well then that's not bad. Good for him on the pun.
I love that Nate is like, and I acquiesce.
All right, well,
I was
Wikipedia
not going to do
UFC.
any more research there. Wikipedia lied to me today. Let's do this. 15 seconds on the clock for Nate to tell us who he thinks is going to win between Jeremy Kennedy and Alexander Volkanovski. Go.
I'm going to go with Alexander Volkanovski because he's Russian and because Jeremy is a Kennedy, which means he's probably going to get assassinated at some point.
Fair.
Oh, damn it.
Really brought down the mood on that one.
Well, I
But
was gonna say
Kev,
the
I guess
stunt
go.
man makes the first political joke on the podcast tonight. That hurts my background. I'm just putting that in the.
I'm just saying, a lot of Kennedys have been assassinated. Like, all of them.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, Raph,
Right?
hit me. I'm ready.
I gave you your time. That was your time.
No,
Nick was
that
gonna
can't be
win.
my time. I've got an Uncle
was your
Teddy
time.
joke. I'm ready.
No, you did it. That's your
Maybe
time.
like
Do
Ted
over.
Kennedy, he'll murder someone while fighting.
Ooh.
I'm picking Jeremy Kennedy for America.
Thank you. For a split second, I thought I was gonna, mispronounce his name as Jamie Kennedy,
Yeah.
and I was about to be like, "Hey guys, it's an experiment to see who's gonna go there." But then I remembered nobody knows who Jamie Kennedy is, so womp womp.
I knew exactly who it was. I was with you, Raph.
Thank you.
You're
Just
in the business.
Fist bump
We
to
know,
fist bump
Nate.
over the air right
We
now.
heard your
Kev-
profile. I read most of it, but still.
Kev, you're going up next.
Awesome.
You're going with Tyson Pedro versus Snapback Sarov. Go.
Snapback Sarov cannot possibly be his name. I'm going with
What?
Pedro. I mean, come on. This is an easy one. The coolest. I mean, Pedros are fighters. That's all I know.
Sure, Nate.
I'm actually going to agree with him because, one, Tyson has all that chicken protein in him, and then I don't like snapback hats. So I'm going to give it to
really?
Pedro.
Also, by
Yeah.
the way, more love handle tattoos.
Does he have love handle tattoos?
All up in that business. He's
Oh,
tatted
dude.
like a Australian warrior.
I gotta fucking look at that.
Right? He's got his thighs too.
let's-
Inner thighs, Raph. Inner
you, Kevin.
thighs.
Those are some pretty great tattoos.
I'm confessing to being in Al Qaeda. I don't have any connections, but if someone
Oh,
just starts
Jesus.
tattooing my inner thigh,
Let's never use that phrase again on this show.
they're not dangerous anymore. It's been a while.
Way to put us all on the watch list. Jesus.
Well,
Yeah, no shit, Kevin. Of course it was going to be the white guy that's going to bring me down. It's
Oh,
just like
shit.
fucking brown people told me, dude.
Tyson fights out of Jackson's?
You should know that, Nate.
According to a Google image search, he does. Or he at least trained there.
Google.
So-
Nate is going to be the
What
best
a-
person on a computer in my life.
Weird
When
way
I am
to research the
Truly
fight.
trying to solve crime. And I'm like, Nate, I need a 411 on this person. And Nate's just like, well,
Great
Oh.
news.
Raph, I have good news for you. Their Facebook profile is with them and a dog. Cool. How do I solve this crime, Braj?
Yeah, so I'm definitely going for Tyson if he trained the Jacksons.
Okay. Little known fact, Kev, our good friend Nate has gotten in some training time over at the Jacksons.
A little bit.
Little known fact, while he's practically inside Carlos Condit in this picture emotionally.
Oh, gee, no, don't put that on him, Kevin.
Okay, I apologize. That was
This is
fake
why
language.
Carlos has never been back on our show.
I know. That was my fault. I was too excited. I admit it.
All right, let's go to our next bout. Who's doing this one? Kevin? Is this
Sure.
you?
Yeah.
Okay. It's Ross Pearson versus The Miz
Yep.
Hirota.
The real deal versus Pugnus. So I'm gonna go with an upset alert here. I'm taking Mizuto Hirota, Raph, for the tried and true reason. You should see this guy's frosted tips and abs. That means you're a great fighter.
Now, hold on. Is the Frosted Tips and Abs say great fighter or boy band? Which is it, Kevin?
Well, for me, it's both. I just kind of always assume if you have one, you can parlay it into the other. And I cannot
Fair
wait to see Nigel from One Direction make his UFC debut next year when they're desperate for ratings.
One person cannot be more excited than Kevin on that one. Nate, what do you got for us on that?
There's like 5 people that know One Direction. They're like, he named Nigel.
Kev, you're
Crushed
bleeding
it.
into his time.
Sorry.
I'm restarting it for you, Nate. Go on.
Okay, I'm going to go with Ross just to go against Kevin.
A statistically smart thing to do, if we're being honest.
Shut up. I don't like your tone. Raph,
Wait,
that was to
don't
you.
look at me. I know who that was. Thanks for pointing that out, Kevin. King of subtlety, Phillips. It's about this time that I like to tell people, though, Nate. We usually do a wager of some sort on this little game. Now, keep in mind, we all do jiu-jitsu, so we don't make the money. So it's not anything like money or financial.
Okay.
What are some of the bets that you have won in the past, Kevin?
I already have one ready. by the way, Raph. I'm not normally this bold, but I'm ready.
Wow.
There's been some product exchanges. I won some soap recently from our pal TJ Butler over at.
Do us a solid though. Could you spice up that description? Like just saying you won some soap.
I want
is
some
a little different
grappling
I won
soap.
some
What's
grappling
the exact
soap
name?
from a brand company.
He does it. It's a veteran's. I forget the exact name.
Grappler Beard and Body. Kev.
Thank you, Grappler Beard and Body. Fantastic soap for after. Well, I'm using it after an aggressive workout right now because I can't do jiu-jitsu for. What day is it? 6 more days.
Coming, Kev.
Pending the MRI. 6 more days. Everybody. I'm not religious, so. Just say it to someone you love. Let's all hope for good things.
Say something nice and
just put it out in the air like The Secret. Yeah. I'll get it. I'm with you, and I'll reciprocate.
Kev,
go ahead.
What are some bets that you've lost?
Oh, I had to change my social media handle to James Coe is right. I had to do a picture of me. Well, actually, both John Evans and I had to do that. We both had to dress up and recreate a Uriah Faber photo. And do some promos, some social media stuff. There was a few artistic exchanges. It runs the gamut.
So, Nate, I know Kevin says he has one in his pocket, but without saying what it is, if you do have one, do you have something in mind?
No. Well, no. I just thought of one. Okay.
Okay, cool. Well, here's what's going to happen.
Social media.
You've got 3 more fights in case you haven't solidified something. So we're going to keep going down the way, and I believe you lead this next one off. It is a fight between Damian Brown versus Dong Hyun Kim, and I would like to acknowledge myself for not laughing when I said that name.
Nice
Go
job.
on.
That was nice.
I am not only going to pick the winner, I'm going to pick how he wins.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to pick Dong Hyun Kim by a flying Dong Garami.
No. Kevin.
I want to spend at least 4 seconds enjoying that. I'm going to go with Damian Brown because even in his picture, Dong Hyun Kim's like, this fight's beneath me. I think he's going to come in not interested. I think Damian Brown's going to come in drunk, and that's going to be the difference.
Fair enough. Now, let me ask you this, Nate. You've had some opportunities to hear Kevin talk shit and be your friend all in the span of about 60 minutes. What have you learned most about Kevin?
What have I learned most about Kevin?
Mm-hmm.
Seems like a good guy.
Okay.
Ask me, Ralph.
Has good.
Okay, Kev, can I set it up for you though, Kev?
Sure.
Okay. Kev, we've been talking with Nate Harris for about 60 seconds worth of hearing him try to compliment you and being unable to come up with something that he thinks is original about you. Mm-hmm. My question for you, why is the sky blue?
He can't protect a drug kingpin for shit from what I've seen. So he needs to fix himself. Wow. That's what I've learned. Jesus. That's a little Sicario references. I've been really holding a few in the back pocket.
Wow, Kev.
That was good.
He could
drops like a sack of potatoes, just looks at the car like, oh, is that guy bleeding? Wham! Drops him. Fire your weapon like a man.
Listen, man, like I knew who the guy was, all right? I even said, I know who you are. You're Marcos from Miguel or whatever his name was. Like, I've seen you. I had no reason to not trust him. Yeah. Listen, just because Benicio's hiding like a bitch in the back seat can't find me like a man.
Well, he's actually out of the car at that point. He's sniping you.
No, he was in the back seat.
Okay, real talk though.
Oh, you're the first
I know this might ruin your career, but I do have to ask this question.
Yeah.
The Benicio eyes. Did you get lost in them?
Oh, who hasn't?
Yeah.
He's also way fucking bigger than I thought. He's like 6'3". Yeah. He's a large man.
He's a big dude.
Hold on, we have a rare big actor.
Yeah, no, he's huge.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
sorry,
not
Kevin.
Like huge, just way bigger than you would expect for an actor.
6'3" is not a small human being, and like Tom Cruise, who's 5'2", fits in your pocket.
He gets smaller every year. I think is the best thing about Tom Cruise.
They're shrinking him.
Pretty sure Tom
Yeah.
Cruise was listed on movies back in the 80s. It's
It's-
5'11",
I was
and he's
gonna
like
say-
slid down the scale.
It's a good idea. They keep shrinking him, and he hasn't aged a day. It's like, well, his skin doesn't need as much space. It's perfect.
It's all right, dude. You know what it is? He keeps doing all these fucking Mission Impossible stunts for no reason. And he's just like, he's putting people like Nate Harris out of business. Because you know what he says? Yeah, I'm 59, whatever. I'll hang off this helicopter. And it's like, dude, we've already seen you do this whole thing 15 times. We get
Yeah.
it. You're good at holding on to stuff.
He's okay at it.
Yeah, he's all right. All right, let's go to our next bout. Let's say, Kev, you lead this one off.
Sure.
And it is between Jake Matthews and Li Jinglin. Go.
Honestly, it was like they really were looking for fighters for this card. They were like, you know who Australia hates? China. Let's get China over here and get a lot of fights in. I'm going with the Jingling.
Okay.
Fuck Australia. Fuck their hometown advantage.
Well, we'd love our Australian fans. We have a
Oh
nice
yeah,
network.
we're second famous market in verbal tap
Thank you,
listenership
Kevin.
internationally. We really love you guys. You guys are the best.
Nate, it's very awkward that we have to break kayfabe and actually reveal. Yes, thank you, Australia, our second biggest market. We love you. All right, there we go.
Oh, you guys are huge in China. That's interesting.
No, actually, pretty big in Australia.
In London.
Oh, Australia.
Although it's
No.
very strange, though, whenever we get our numbers back, and then Kevin and I will look and we'll be like, because the first time we saw that people were listening to us in different countries or continents, I guess, we were like, why? And then we immediately realized, we're like, dude, if they hear how much we shit on Ohio, then how much do they hate getting shat on whenever we're like, fuck Australia, am I right?
And to reveal a fun secret, our first listening city, Fairborn, Ohio, right now. So we love you, and I apologize for the literal 2,000 insults over the past 5 years.
I apologize for nothing. It's a shithole. and
I
they
had to
know
drive
it.
there so many times. I'm practically a resident.
If they want an apology, maybe they shouldn't have murdered Harambe. I'm just saying.
He
I
started
miss
it.
how I beat those so much. All right. Did you pick one?
He didn't.
No,
No, let's
go-
have you pick one.
I'm gonna go with Jake Matthews Band.
Nice. That should be his. That's a way better nickname than he has.
You know, given that joke, I think it's better that you see him in this arena because, you know, he'll just jam out for like one round. Won't go fight anybody. It's just him just hanging out on the sides. You think he's going to go somewhere and never does.
Not going to change genres. Going to keep it pretty much even keeled the
Oh.
entire time.
Hey, Kev, I've got bad news. I actually have to go, but we're going to have a guest host for this last part.
Okay. Who are we bringing on for this
I
last?
can't tell you, but he looks really angry as to why he's being brought on. So I don't know what this deal is.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and intro. And coming now, much like a surprise that Nate was, though a pleasant one, kind of. We now bring on special guest host for Over Under. They would be.
That would be me, Yoel Romero. Why you
Oh.
don't know who I am?
Fuck's sake, get off the podcast. We talked about this. This isn't a religious thing.
Kevin Phillips, you listen to me. You gotta give to Jesus and not the bad Jesus, the gay one.
I have given to the gay one. I'm a big fan of fluid sexuality.
No for gay Jesus.
No, yes for gay Jesus.
No, I said no for gay Jesus.
Well, hold on. Let's let Nate decide. Nate, no or yes for gay Jesus? How do you feel?
I think gay Jesus is better than regular Jesus.
Oh, no. I say no for gay Jesus, which means no.
What do you mean it means no? Like, do you have a philosophical difference, or is this a Mike Pence situation? You're just jealous.
To be very blunt, I am very confused as to where I stand for gay Jesus or Jesus.
Now that it's part of your lore, are you going to make another religious speech after you lose to Luke Rockhold?
Yeah, man. I'm going to get out there and I'm going to say, I hate this Ken doll. He is bad. He is worse than gay Jesus.
You're going to want to work on that speech a little bit. I don't think everyone's going to be like, are you referring to Luke Rockhold as a Ken doll?
Hey, you shut up now, dummy.
Okay.
Do I win or Ken doll? Or 30 seconds for gay Jesus.
Is that Nate? Nate, you're up first.
Oh, I'm up first? All right. Fuck, this is a tough one.
Should not be that tough.
I'm gonna go with Rockhold because he's actually been a champion, and Romero.
Wow! Wow! Wow!
Wow.
That's
Sorry, I have been watching
articulate.
a lot of Owen Wilson and Al Pacino movies. Now, do you, Philip?
okay. I fuck it. Just to be contrary, because I really don't like Luke Rockhold very
Yeah?
much. I don't like his
Uh-huh.
face. I don't like the way he tights it up. I'm
Me
gonna go.
neither.
You know what, Romero? Let's settle a difference here. And if you win, why don't you say I'm for gay Jesus, and I'll pick you.
Oh, yeah, I will say that for you.
Thank you.
Okay, I have to go, everybody. I have to go. I love you all. I love you.
Our audience feels no opinion about you. Let's bring some Wrath Esparza back to the cast to see if we can lead it into the home, because we still have to pick performances of the night and fight of the night.
Yeah, we do. All right. Let's do that. Kev, why don't you start us off? So just to fill it in, we have to do tiebreakers. So in the event you guys have the same number of them correct, we have to go to who you think will win the two performances of the night and fight of the night. Kevin, you lead us off.
Yeah. Performance of the night one goes to Matthews jingling. Feels good. I'm sorry. It's one person that gets performance of the night. I'm going to go with Hunt. I'm going to go with Romero. And for fight of the night, I got to go with Dong Brown versus Dong Kim versus Damian Brown.
Okay. And Nate, who do you have?
Okay, performance of the night. I'm gonna go with Jake Matthews Band.
Okay.
And Tyson's Chicken Pedro.
Okay.
And for fight of the night, I am gonna go with what was the one I liked just a minute ago? Forgot.
You would think you would know the one fight you liked.
Fuck.
Well, you know, when you're busy working on Cliffs of Freedom,
I have a
your
question
mind can
for
get...
you. Why you no pick me, Hey Harris? Listen, Hey Harris, I don't like you, but you pick me.
For fight of the night, I'll go with Romero Rockhold.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
No for gay Jesus.
No for gay Jesus.
I wanted to point out, I don't think you guys appreciate it enough, but as he was walking out, Yoel was saying, hate Harris. Now, I don't feel that got the love it should have.
Oh, it was
I
hard to
would
tell
like
from the accent. Sorry. Hate Harris
Yeah.
is pretty good. Even though he was in an episode of Preacher, which you'd think would really appeal to Yoel Romero, but nope.
You
Yeah,
would think.
it's not. Nothing is better than when a guest has an IMDb page.
It
that's
really
actually
is
to be
great.
rated.
It's perfect.
It's the gift that keeps giving. All right, we've done the business of figuring out who the tiebreakers are, who we think is going to win. Nate, I know you said you had an idea. Kevin is ready to go if you are not able to Miss America your duties on this particular area. But I ask of you right now, what is the bet you have in mind?
Let Kevin go first.
Fuck did I just do all that? All right.
I love that. That's my
Kev.
favorite, when you get like completely ignored. Like, it's not gonna happen. Okay, it was jails are an aphrodisiac. What was it? What was the name of the site?
Shirts are a jail cell.
Shirts are a jail cell. I'm gonna go right past the Oz-like feel that name has to it from the HBO series, and I'm gonna skip right to, if I win, I get a nasty as fuck shirt. If you win, I'll take a shirtless photo that, trust me, no one wants to see after 6 months of not training, that says shirts are a jail. I'll just have it body painted on myself for you, send you that photo.
Okay. I accept the first half. I will send you a shirt if you win.
Okay.
Oh my god, that's so rude. This is the rudest decline I think I've ever heard.
It wants nothing
Go
to do
on,
with me
Nate.
writing their logo.
I just want to point out, okay, before, it's like when they find those ironic things that people stand for, and then they put a video out that's like either the right or the left. And I have to say, Nate is right down the line as a libertarian. I know he has to hate this. It's literally seeing a video with Nate going, I want people to embrace their bodies and to really understand that keeping a shirt off is truly American. What's that, Kevin? No, not him.
Okay, I will accept it, but you don't have to send me the picture. I just want you to post it on your social media.
Yeah, that would be. I wasn't gonna
Yeah, that was
DM you. I was gonna post it,
I
obviously.
use DMs.
No, you made it sound like you were going to print off the picture and put it in an envelope and mail it to me.
Well,
I mean,
maybe he will. Maybe he will.
Maybe I'll have my girlfriend do a nude portrait of me. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna have done yet, Nate.
Well, Kevin,
Then that changes
it
the
out.
bet. I'm accepting. No, I'll behave. I'm
okay.
good.
Yeah, okay.
This
I'm cool
is
with
for
those
social media purposes. Yeah, to promote the brand through a joke of.
Okay, but I'm curious though, Nate, because I asked you if you had something in mind. Was that what you had in mind, or what did you have in mind?
Well, yeah, for sure. I was going to just send him a shirt.
Oh. How about a series of photos, since it's pretty easy once it's already on?
Well, yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, so if I win, then I was going to say pictures of me because
Ooh.
I'm
better.
Egotistical like that. You get to post a picture of me like every day with the hashtag shirts are a jail cell for however long, like a week or something.
Let's do a side by side, and that way it'll be horrible.
Okay.
Oh, that's good.
So if you win, we'll do a side by side, and you'll definitely win on that comparison as well.
Okay.
I
accept the terms.
I don't know. I've been drinking beer. It's just where I'm at in my life.
Nate, it's been a rough time for Kevin. He's he's had a couple injuries that have kept him out for a little while, and we're very excited to see him get back to training. And the nicest part about this game is you don't just show up for this week's podcast. If you are so inclined, we'd love to have you back after the fights next week. Would you be interested in coming back?
Absolutely. I'll be on whenever you want me to, Raph.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I'm a sweet guy.
Nah, you are a sweetheart. Before we wrap things up, Nate, tell us where people can find you. Tell us about your gym, where they can find you on social media. Are you doing like privates and all that other sort of jazz or seminars? Tell the people.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can find me at Nasty Nate Harris on everything. The Instagrams, the Twitters, the Snapchats. Don't add me on Snapchat unless you're a hot girl. Then you can find my gym at 10PABQ on the Instagrams and the Twitters, not the Snapchats. And it's 10thplanetABQ.com. We are in the lovely Albuquerque, New Mexico. If you're ever in town, stop by. Yes, I am available for privates all the time. I do not have any seminars booked. If anybody wants to bring me out for a seminar, you are more than welcome to. And yeah, of course, shirtsarejailcell.com, nastynateharris.com, which right now is the same website.
Until he loses his next bet, and then he has to completely redirect it to Verbal Tapcast. But we wouldn't do that to you, Nate, because that's rude.
Yeah.
And we have a rule, which is don't fuck with people's money.
God,
so
if we
would
didn't,
not do that.
I'd have him open kevinisachampion.com.
Oh, God. Kevin is a champ. Kev, let's find out if that's open real quick.
Just real quick.
I just want to make sure, Nate, you're a pleasure. We've been waiting to bring you on the show, and I'm so excited that you were able to come on today. I believe our listeners would be very, very happy to hear you do your things on here, and they're very happy for you in general. You're always putting up a very good and positive message out there, especially for the neglected, don't want to wear shirt crew.
Exactly.
Which I feel is underserved in this American economy. Like, I don't necessarily feel you as a sort of person who's going to run for office, but I feel like that might be your calling in like 20 years.
Thank you. I did, after the last election, just kind of throw my hands up like, well, fuck, the next election I'll be old enough to run. So, I mean, we've already set the bar as super fucking low.
Sure.
So really, I'm like, maybe I'll just run for president in 2020. Who knows?
But you have to do it without a shirt, though. You know that's the
Of course.
consistent thing. Okay. Because
Yeah.
nothing says more hilarious than at the point where you would have to debate Trump. Because in this scenario you get to, than
Yeah.
being like, I'm shirtless. Why isn't he? Boom.
Yeah.
Challenge him to a shirtless debate. Putin would do it.
Yeah. Putin would do it. All right.
And then you could also plug shirtsaragayvacation.com, your company.
Yep. I just bought that.
I went to shirtsarajailcell.com. It immediately, you know where I got redirected? NastyNateHarris.com /shop.
Son of a bitch.
This guy.
I love that.
He's good.
I'm a huge fan of all of that. Well, before we let you go, Kev, do you have any departing words for your opponent here?
Yeah. in the next film you do, Neighbors 3, the sorority girls start a militia. Please feel free to, think of Verbal Tap as inspiration to really get in the comedic mood.
Oh, for sure. I absolutely will.
Cool. That's all I had, Ref.
And Kevin, I will let you know, KevinIsAChampion.com, not taken.
Ooh.
So just want to make sure that is out there. Nate, here's the scary part. If you don't do it, I wonder if one of our fans would. I'm going to say no because cheap. But if they did, it'd be hilarious. Anyway, Nate, we look forward to having you back on the show next week. And we can't thank you enough for coming on tonight, sir.
Thank you for having me. It was a blast. And it worked out really well. I would normally be at the gym at this hour, but I had to take the day off because I got a cold. So, it was perfect.
Excellent. You're welcome, ABQ. 10p for L.
Nasty Germ Nate, as they say.
Exactly. Thanks, fellas. It's been an honor, and I look forward to coming back.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Raph, what a podcast. This podcast is going to keep me emotionally and happily as snug as North-South Jiu-Jitsu underwear keeps me while I'm jamming away on the Maxi Climber, getting ready to head back into Jubera savagery. Cannot wait to strap on my North-South Jiu-Jitsu underwear. It's arguably the most excited thing I have, aside from mental stability, about returning to training. And I'm looking forward to, I've got the camos, I've got the A4s, fit like a dream. North-South Jiu-Jitsu.com. Raph, this was an amazing podcast. Nasty Nate, have you trained with him? How do you know him? What's the cross-reference there?
Nate's just part of the 10th Planet
world.
crew. Here's a real big secret, though. Nate wants to do commentary with me.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
And, I haven't cleared other commentators' names with you, and I felt like it's created a rift on the show. So I decided I would bring my future potential mistress on the show so we could have a discussion about it like adults.
Well, you know how open I am. I'm all about it. I enjoy being able to be a part of both, so that is helpful for me.
Yes. And I feel like now you're seduced by her, and you're just kind of like, whoa,
I get it.
Raph, hold on.
It's like, if Victoria's like, hey, bad news, Ryan Gosling and I have sparked up a thing. It's like, I get it.
Exactly.
You've upgraded.
So, no, but Nate's, again, very funny, puts out good content, social media. He's just always a silly, goofy guy. And we cross paths every once in a while, but, I shoot him notes when he puts on terrible social media every once in a while and let him know how I really feel about it.
I do some work in Albuquerque now occasionally, it would appear, so we'll see. We'll see.
Noted.
Shout outs? I mean, we did a podcast this week, so you bare minimum here, people.
Right. I hope you're not like Valley Martial Arts Center,
VMAC.
Just holding out hope
Yep.
that I'm going to do a shout out to them, and then I'm doing a drilling class this 1 p.m. If you're
1
interested
p.m.
in coming, you want to hit me up. I would never do that, Kevin.
You're not that type. You're not that braggadocious.
No.
So 1 p.m. When was it, Ref?
1 p.m. at Valley Martial Arts Center. That's going to be on, I believe, the 10th of February. And just in case you guys wanted to know,
But not that we're
Gabe
mentioning
Argis,
it. We're just
I'm
mentioning
not
what we're
mentioning it.
not
That's
mentioning.
rude. I would never do that and waste your time.
Mhm.
But our good friend Gabe Argis, he's going to have an opening, a soft opening, which, by the way, when we talk about soft and hard openings, I think that we really need to watch our phrasing here, people. But, hashtag soft opening. For Gracie Barra, it is going to be Thousand Oaks. So go support him. I think they're doing, more fundraising and seminars and stuff like that. But I think it's fully opening in March sometime. So shout out to him as well. Shout out to the Los Angeles Jiu-Jitsu Club.
LA JC.
The guys are doing training there Monday through Friday. It is 8 a.m. every day. So it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You have jiu-jitsu. Tuesday, Thursday at 8 a.m., you have breathing work and yoga. And then on Tuesday, Thursdays at 10 a.m., you also have the jiu-jitsu. So look out for that sort of stuff, my friends. And I also want to shout out Gracie, Arizona. I stopped there on Monday night, and I got to roll with, Ryan Ford, the terrible podcaster from Grappling Central podcast.
Yes.
I got to roll with his brother Chris, who's far better looking, has better hair, and I have to tell you this, having never rolled with Ryan, Chris has the jiu-jitsu of the family.
Really?
I'm sure. Oh, yeah, he does. So it was tons of fun. Picked up some really cool shit and stuff that I might actually show Kevin because I loved it so much. So just wanted to give you guys the what's what on that. And I want to say a big shout out to Paul Nava because I didn't get to train at his school, but he made time to come out and take me out to a place called the Beer Institute Research, or Beer Research Institute, I believe, and had some wonderful craft beers out that way and great conversation. If you guys are around, please go visit Nava BJJ. Couldn't be a nicer guy. Has several locations, not just in Arizona, but in, I believe, Oklahoma and some other surrounding areas. Amazing guy. So can't say enough nice things about him. And I think that's going to do it for me, Kev.
Mine is solely to Dr. Chore. Let's do this. This is your shout out. Let's just approve. Let's just pass it along. Say, Kevin, you're good to go. And you can head back to Jubera Jiu-Jitsu. let's just say that.
Did you slip her money?
I think she's pretty well paid as, a very top 5 hand surgeon in Denver. So that's kind of, she doesn't seem to be really interested in that because I definitely can't afford that.
No, I know, but I'm saying, can you slip her a 20? It's just you're going to clear me. You know what I'm saying? Here you go.
She's definitely going to give me a look like, no, you're not. I think that would counteract. So I love where your head's at, though. And normally I'm down. Just slip it. I even go up to a casual 50 just to get back to training.
Listen, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's worked for me at getting tables in Vegas.
Ooh.
It stands that it would work for you here.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight here at Verbal Tap. I am Kevin. Thank you for listening.
Good night and good fight.
The number you have dialed has been changed. The new number is... Please note, the new number is